Good evening. Campaigners have reacted angrily to the news that badger culls in West Somerset could continue for another 3 weeks because not enough animals have been killed. Environment Secretary Owen Paterson said the 6-week trial in West Somerset killed fewer than half the target number. Our environment correspondent Duncan Slightholme reports.
For 6 weeks, free-running badgers in Somerset have been the quarry of marksmen, but they're not the only moving target they've been trying to hit. Parliament was told today that 850 badgers have been killed in West Somerset, 40% of the initial target. The estimated total population of badgers has been revised to 1,450 from 2,400. So the coal companies need to reach a target of 1,015 dead badgers to make it an effective exercise. They're asking for more time.
I think they'll probably go on another 2 to 3 weeks. It's quite clear in a desperately affected hotspot like Somerset, 60% is a good result, but going up over 60% would be a better result again. So I think they're sensible to go on.
The estimates are wildly different. It's not just a little bit. You're talking about probably 40% difference. How can you make a mistake that big? And if you can make a mistake that big, how can you convince people that you know what you're doing in culling?
Opponents of the cull, like Brian May, would prefer to see badgers vaccinated and find it hard to understand why that can't happen if the badgers currently have to be trapped to be shot.
We know that shooting free-running badgers doesn't work. It was quite obvious because they had to change to cage trapping. If they can cage trap and vaccinate in Wales, why can't we do it in England? They're thinking in Northern Ireland to do cage trap, test and then vaccinate. Why can't we do that?
Farmers, though, are desperate for something to be done to control the spread of bovine TB in cattle, and they hope the government's efforts to control the disease don't end with these culls.
We are pleased that the government has made a very small step, but this is a small step on a long road to try to actually tackle this disease within the country as a whole. I think that the farming community are relieved that a start has been made, but that there is total recognition that these two on their own, in isolation, that they're not going to break the cycle of infection across the country as a whole.
Meanwhile, the coal company in Gloucestershire is also asking for an extension. Success of this trial, it seems, depends on how you interpret the results. Duncan Slightholme, ITV News, West Somerset.
A head teacher has been suspended after a pupil was seriously injured at a school in Wiltshire. Tristan Williams was arrested on suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm at Springfields Academy in Caen. He's been released on police bail. In a statement, the school said the pupil was injured while showing challenging behaviour. The Chair of Governors said Mr Williams continues to enjoy the full support of the governors, who stressed that his absence should not be interpreted as an indication of wrongdoing. The governors hope Mr Williams will return to his duties very soon. A pioneering procedure which could stop Parkinson's disease is being trialled at Frenchay Hospital near Bristol. Doctors are installing a port behind the ear so they can directly inject a protein into the brain. The trial is looking for 36 people locally with Parkinson's to take part. It's hoped the treatment will actually halt or slow down the progression of the disease. A new service station for the M5 is halfway to completion, and the developers say motorists can expect something out of the ordinary. Gloucester Services will create 300 jobs and blend into the landscape with a curved roof planted with grass. Ken Goodwin reports.
It started with a field by the motorway. Today, halfway through the project, it looks like this. Next June, when the new service station opens, it'll look something like this. It has been a long road getting even this far. There were objections from not only existing service stations, but also local parish councils. Their appeal against the building was dismissed by the High Court. The family-owned business which is creating Gloucester Services also owns and runs the T-Bay services on the M6 in Westmoreland.
You'll see behind me we have a building which has emerged from the ground but blends seamlessly in a curve into the landscape, and in the next few weeks we're going to be putting a grass roof onto the top of the building. Here, when we're up and running, you'll find a cafe where we make all our own homemade food, and you'll find a big farm shop where we'll have butchery counters, cheese counters and lots of local artisan produce.
Gloucester Services is a partnership between Westmoreland and the charity, the Gloucestershire Gateway Trust, which will get some of the profits to invest in community projects. There has already been a lot of interest in the 300 jobs that the service station will create.
It's been very strong. We've had a lot of people who've come forward onto our local labour list, and we've started to have information and consultation meetings with interested local residents in our target communities, and we've had a very good turnout from young to old.
There are already service stations operating fairly close by on and near the M5, and some have questioned whether there is enough demand for another one. Ken Goodwin, ITV News, Gloucester.
A farmer has applied for planning permission to build a Neolithic-style burial mound in Wiltshire. If approved, it would look similar to the famous ancient Long Barrow at West Kennet. Tim Dorr has submitted proposals for a mound to hold the remains of up to 300 people on land near Devizes. Planners at Wiltshire Council say they've never seen anything like it. Now it's time to take a look at the weather. Peter Griffin has our forecast.
Well, they're a bright and breezy picture for the next few days, and as we have been forecasting for a while, temperatures dropping back a fair bit as well, so a real taste of autumn on the way. A cold front across us at the moment, already making those temperatures drop back, but during the course of the night a further one heading our way, bringing in some very chilly air from the north, so temperatures will be dropping back fairly sharply out the countryside. Cold enough perhaps even for a touch of frost here and there, but temperatures about 5 to 7 degrees in the main under clearing skies. Some decent stargazing tonight on the way by the looks of things as well, and a strengthening breeze there from the northwest. That breeze continues through into tomorrow morning, so a sunny old start, but temperatures struggling in the strength of that breeze, and I think by lunchtime temperatures at best about 8 or 9 Celsius. Quite a breezy old day all up, and that continues into tomorrow afternoon as well. So even though we get a fair bit of sunshine, those temperatures at best I think about 10 or 11 Celsius. We had 19 a few days back, so it will feel quite a bit chillier indeed. Perhaps scattering of showers along the coast, but those dying out as we head through the course of the afternoon. Now for the next few days, high pressures with us, so bright skies on Friday, but a strengthening northeasterly breeze means it's going to feel even cooler. A bit more in the way of cloud on Saturday and Sunday, and a scattering of showers then, but look at those temperatures, well down now, highs about 14.
And that's all from the late team. There's plenty more news from our region on our website, but from all of us here, have a good evening. Good night.